Welcome back. In today's video, we're going to be talking about EC, who, as most of you know, is struggling with a severe form of illness. Collectively as a community, we've tried for years to help her, but it's come to a point where viewers are either being harmed by her content or playing a dangerous game of encouragement. Now, before we get into this video, it's important to know that we're going to be talking about some very sensitive things. If you need to reach out to me, if you need to say anything, just my DMs on Instagram are open. Just give me like 2 or 3 days, but you will hear back from me. EC has a YouTube channel of over 2.23 million subscribers. She also has a Twitch channel with over 124,000 followers. The majority of her content focuses on things that revolve around her showing off her body, that being clothing hauls, makeup tutorials, or product reviews, to name a few. And multiple times throughout these videos, without any type of content message or age gate, you can see her doing what's called body checking. An article from Healthline states that body checking is the habit of seeking information about your body's weight, shape, size, or appearance. Examples of this include her striking unnatural poses to show off specific parts of her body. Now, it could be argued that these poses are very normal types of poses for these kind of videos, but we do have to keep in mind the context of she is very aware of what people are thinking.
Like, I'm not gonna lie, I care, like, really bad. I really do care about you.
Thank you.
I'm really worried for you and scared.
Oh no, Garfield!
And I don't want anything to happen to you. I'm serious. I'm serious. I don't want anything to happen.
There have been multiple petitions attempting to remove her content. Multiple young women have said to her how much of an inspiration to them she is.
That's body goals. Like, why can't I be that thin?
She completely understands the adverse impact she's having, yet still consciously decides to go forward with this type of content.
I just feel like some people are getting like so angry at me, and I'm just like, guys, I'm not trying to do anything wrong. So I don't really know why some people are getting so mad at me. That is their own personal perception. Yeah, I mean, you guys can, of course, have your own opinions, and I don't try to tell you guys to not have your own opinion, but I don't really see how I'm doing anything wrong. Like, I'm really not trying to upset anyone.
Some of her most popular videos include her in a states at the height of her disease with sensationalized thumbnails, making it very unlikely that she's not aware of her actions. Earlier, I said that EC's viewers were either being harmed or playing a dangerous game of encouragement, and what I mean by that is, for example, her videos are filled with comments that praise her, telling her how beautiful she is, or they are degrading her, telling her how awful she is. And a variety of different things all within that spectrum. Now, looking at it at face value, you can see what drives the basis of the content on her channel. One article states that the phrase, watching someone hurt themselves, takes on a new meaning on her channel. In fact, one could argue it's her brand. So this is her content. She gets paid for this, she gets validation for this, and it's a never-ending thing. People were very hopeful in early 2019 when she was hospitalized for a 72-hour hold. And afterwards, it seemed like she was really building her strength back up. Like, you could see the health returning to her, but then she went right back to posting content and getting back into this space of the internet world. Here's a comparison after the 5150 and currently.
I have one that's currently open too.
So that's finished with my hair and makeup
and this is such a nice
outfit.
scent. Like, it reminds
I thought
me
I
of
would change
Christmas.
the
It
outfit
definitely
since
has,
like
a
I
very,
was
I feel like kind of like seasonal,
and you guys can
spice
do
kind of
flowers.
smell. And you can
I thought
just
that
put it
was a
on
really
your
good idea
entire
to
body.
do that.
I'm just kind of putting it on my hands right now, as you guys can see.
And if you go back to the video she put out when she first returned, you can hear it in her voice that it was fuller and healthier, and you compare that to the current videos that are out now. It's more high-pitched and almost like it's stressed, like she's using every ounce of energy that she has just to speak.
Even like after that, to just like kind of take some time for myself and like to you know, try to take better care of myself, because I think for a while I really wasn't, and sometimes I wasn't even like realizing at all like how bad things were getting, and kind of more of like a bit of like a deeper pink. It looks so pretty in the brush. Oh my gosh, you can like see the little sparkles. There's this one that looks like kind of like a clear white kind of color called Skate Date. We have this one that looks more pink, and this one is called Ice Sparkle.
And I know how you feel about this because I feel it too. It seems that EC running a YouTube channel that predominantly bases things upon her appearance seems poorly advised for someone in her condition. So one of the biggest questions that I hear people talk about all the time is, why is YouTube allowing this show on their platform? Why have they not stepped up and done something about this? And I think there's a couple reasons why. It could come off as if it was discrimination towards someone with a mental illness. I see many people angered because people speak out against her. And I understand completely why you might feel this way. But if you remember, about 3 months ago, I covered a very serious topic to do with EC. She ran a Discord server that was full of dangerous people, even having past moderators that were, well, just read the screen. There were young girls who were coming out with stories, not to mention she had a moderator who would promote advice to minors. And due to myself and others raising awareness, she shut it down. We also called for her content to be age restricted because it was obvious now more than ever just how dangerous her content was for children and the types of people that it was attracting. Even now, I understand the people who feel like attempting to age restrict or shut down her platforms could be looked at as hurting somebody that is seriously ill. But I made a choice in this, a choice to protect the young viewers, the children involved from the influence that this is obviously having. And I fully believe that we have YouTube's attention on this, as they have responded to YouTuber Pastel Bell, where Bell states that EC's content actually breaks several TOS guidelines, specifically being harm that minors could imitate, and really it's difficult to argue against that. They actually had a conversation via DMs, and it appears that something's happening. With all this being said, there's still a large portion of people who just will not hold EC accountable for her actions because she has a mental illness. And like I said, I understand why, but to these people, I want to say that a lot of us struggle with boundaries, I myself included. We see someone suffering and want to do our very best to help that person no matter the cost, even if it's putting ourselves in a bad situation. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with feeling this way. It's very normal. I feel this way. However, it is very important to understand, if we let people continue a destructive path with our blessing, then they'll feel like what they're doing is okay. So if we set our highest virtue to encourage her, then we are setting our standard to encourage suffering, meaning that we then must look forward to more suffering to feel virtuous, perpetuating an engine that helps neither the viewer or the creator. We need to normalize having compassion for people while at the same time creating healthy boundaries of what we will and will not allow in our lives. She's also been false striking channels down that document her behavior so bigger channels can't see it. One of these channels started back up under a new name, but their original channel was one that many YouTubers, including myself, used. We pulled clips from it because these clips showed very questionable behavior that she said that the channels were doxing her moderators, and I asked for evidence, but none was provided.
Did you finally reported the Eugenia Cooney news channel? I did, which I know some people are mad at me about that. I know some people are like, oh my gosh, this shows what an awful person Eugenia is. It's not a good look. She's mean, she's evil, she's whatever. She had no right to do that. It was just clips of her. And I'm sorry to people that feel that way if they feel like I was in the wrong or anything like that. I did not mean to do like anything wrong. I really did not mean to do that. But I can just tell you guys, like, I've seen proof of this. I've come across some comments where it was not only me getting hate from that channel, it was other people also being affected by that, which I feel really, really terrible about. And I don't want, you know, other people being over certain channels like that are just kind of starting trouble. Because that channel would take a lot of things that I would say out of context and make them look bad. They would try to like refer to older videos of mine and try to like prove things that like weren't even true. And the channel was just, I think, like kind of a big place to kind of like hate on me, basically, is basically what that channel was. I don't know. Honestly, a lot of people might just be mad because now they can't go over to that channel to kind of like hate on me and stuff. And again, guys, like, I'm sorry to people that feel like I was in the wrong or anything like that. But the thing is, like, with channels that do even like upload people's streams, which normally I wouldn't do that, it's just that, you know, it did seem like it was kind of causing some trouble and stuff. But technically I do own the copyright for that. And that's how I was even able to like take it down. Like if I didn't own the copyright, then YouTube wouldn't let me, you know? So it's kind of...
I find it very difficult to believe that these channels that are holding her accountable are the same channels that she's going after and taking down, when these channels are showing things like her art theft without credit, and there's no evidence to show her claims. Putting that aside, copyright strikes would have nothing to do with doxing, but these are just a few examples. And again, I know people will say that, well, her illness makes her make terrible decisions, but this is just not an excuse. Or they'll also say there is a possibility that people are telling her what to do, but still, that's not enough of a reason for us just to let these terrible things to just keep on happening, to keep on going. I know this is very hard to talk about stuff, but I feel like we need to get something done. That being said, and as interesting as this is, there's always something that's more interesting to me. That's right, you guessed it. I want to know what you think. So why don't you go ahead and leave your creative or interesting responses in the comment box below. Thumbs up for those likes, and as always, brothers and sisters, I will see you in the next video.